Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about something that I learned through my plant machine research. I've been doing a lot of that lately and I've been learning a lot of stuff that I'm hoping to share with you all. This trick has really brought up my plant game up to another level, and it also uses two simple ingredients. One of them is free and the other one is something that you can find at any store, and you might even already have it in your cupboard. Can you guess what it is? If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and if you're not, thank you for not leaving me. I wanted to ask you something today. If you do like my content, please like the video. It will take you 1 second, but it helps me massively because the algorithm of YouTube will pick that up and then it will start kind of suggesting my videos to other people more. And so that will help me as well be able to be promoted really on YouTube, so I can then make better content because I'll be able to just have more time and really be promoted in that way. So please, I just need your help. If you do like my channel, like and then subscribe, and then we can make the plant machine channel big. Glad you stuck around. I hope I piqued your interest with the secret ingredient mystery. Before we start and I reveal what the secret ingredient is, I wanted to give you an understanding of why I've even discovered this trick. So in my day-to-day, I'm obviously not a full-time YouTuber yet, but in my day-to-day job, I give advice to companies around sustainability. So helping them think about sustainability and really trying to help those companies lower their environmental impact. So I think about sustainability and lowering my own impact all the time. And so when I was getting into my plant journey, I realized that there's so many things that you need to buy, apparently, that really I realized there's a lot of stuff that you can upcycle. So for example, I made a video about how to make your own mister for your plants. Misting spray bottle, not Mr. Create Your Own Man, Mr. Not that. But yeah, anyway, so that was the idea of starting my journey of, being an eco-conscious plant lover. We can call it that. And anyway, so this is my journey of trying to find ways to not buy as many things. So for example, I don't throw any of my nursery pots away, I just keep them because I know I'll be using them soon enough. But it pretty much promotes root growth when you do cut a little piece off of your plants, so then you can make sure that they are strong and healthy really fast to then put them into soil. And so I looked into it and I was like, well, do I really need rooting hormone? I've been, creating baby plants without any rooting hormone, but really, is it going to help me or not? And then I realized that it's quite expensive actually, and I mean not indecent, but it's yet another thing to buy. And that is a big deterrence for a lot of people when they start into their plant journey. Is it going to cost me a lot? I've just started my career, and so I don't have a lot of money to just spend on this stuff. And also plants are expensive as well. If you don't know where to buy them, they're expensive themselves. So if upkeeping them is also expensive, there's never end. There's no end to the money pits. So anyway, I realized that you can create a lot of things, including your own rooting hormone. Yes, I swear. You can create your own rooting hormone at home. It might not be as hardcore and fast root growth as the I guess industrial made rooting hormone, but I quite like the fact that I made it myself. There's no waste, and you use ingredients that you can find everywhere. So then again, you can think that whatever you're buying hasn't been created on the other side of the world, it hasn't been shipped to you, you can just walk to the store and buy it yourself and make it yourself. How nice is that feeling? If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and if you're not, thank you for not leaving me. I wanted to ask you something today. If you do like my content, please like the video. It will take you 1 second, but it helps me massively because the algorithm of YouTube will pick that up, and then it will start kind of suggesting my videos to other people more. And so that will help me as well be able to be promoted really on YouTube, so I can then make better content because I'll be able to just have more time and really be promoted in that way. So please, I just need your help. If you do like my channel, like and then subscribe, and then we can make the Plant Machine channel big. Okay, let's cut to the chase. I think I've dangled the carrot around enough that I can tell you what is the secret ingredient to this new homemade rooting hormone. It's simply honey. Yes, just honey and then a bit of water. That is all you will need. So one thing that is completely free, and then just honey. The one difference though that you will need to make sure to buy, don't buy the run-of-the-mill, the squeezy kind of like bare honey, which one I mean, because those are often processed, and so we need raw organic honey, because then it hasn't been processed and all the good things such as there's no additives, preservatives or GMOs or any nasty chemicals, and all the natural good stuff is still in there. So yeah, make sure that it's raw and organic honey, and then you're good to go. Explain why honey works as a rooting hormone, I need to first explain what is a rooting hormone, why are there synthetic ones and natural ones, what are the differences, and why do they work. It's not magic, it's science. Let's talk biology 101. How do people grow? How do plants grow? Through growth hormones. So these growth hormones occur naturally in plants as well as in humans. Obviously we don't have the same ones, but they pretty much do the same job. So the growth hormone for plants is called auxin. Auxin is a natural growth hormone for plants, but very intelligent scientists have managed to create a synthetic auxin hormone. And that is what is used in the synthetic rooting gels or rooting powder that you see on the markets. So it's not bad per se, it's just a synthetic hormone. I just wanted to try something different and also not have to spend my money on something if I might not need it. What is cool is that in honey there are naturally occurring growth hormones. Crazy! Rooting hormones have lots of additives that prevent your cuttings from getting a fungus. That if they get that, they will definitely die, and then that will not be a successful propagation. The other thing as well is that they can get pests quite easily, and so again, if you have like things that are synthetic that can kind of cut that off, then it's easier. But the one issue that I have with synthetic rooting hormones is that if you want to be more organic and sustainable, like I've been saying, there's been research that's shown that actually these fungicides and all the things that they put in the rooting hormones have actually been impacting the numbers of bees that are alive. So there's been a massive decline in bee population, and scientists have linked that as a potential cause. So I'd rather just stay away because I don't want to, cause any bees to die at all. I want to up those numbers, Another great reason to buy raw organic honey is that you can be sure that these bees have been treated really well, because obviously just like any industry, like the dairy industry or the meat industry, if you buy free range or organic, something that has been proven to, have a lesser impact on the environment, the animals and the bees are also treated more fairly, more ethically. So, you know, save the bees, think of them, thank them by buying organic. But this isn't a video about or why organic is great. It's about making your own rooting hormone. So let's get to that. One thing I wanted to make sure you knew before we get started on making the rooting hormone is when and for what type of plants you'd want to use this. So, most indoor plants are soft plants, we can call them, like this one or the Maranta here. So these are really easily propagated into water directly. So this has amazing root growth and it's only been there for I think a few weeks, like 2 weeks. These are ready to be planted, it's awesome. This one, it's been a month because it's a bit more of a finicky plant. But as you can see, I mean, these are also ready to be planted. These ones, so hardwood plants or semi-hardwood plants, so the ones that look more like trees, like this guy, or this, again woody, you'll want to use a rooting hormone if you want your propagation attempt to be successful most of the time. But yeah, this because these are, the reason why they're hard is because it's old growth almost, and so the harder the piece that you're cutting off is, the harder it will also be to propagate. So when you try to propagate you know, a tree like this, you'll really need to try and select one of the most novel shoots. So the way that you want to do, I even saw that some people just dip their new cuttings into the raw honey directly. I've never tried that myself, so I'm just going to show you the original way that I've done. And so the first time I used this, it was for my fiddle leaf fig propagation attempt. And as I mentioned before in another video, this is my favorite plant, and so I'm really happy that it was successful. And look, new leaf, who dis? And according to people of Reddit and the internet, this is a really difficult tree to propagate, but really I didn't even realize it because it just happened and it went well. So yeah, but anyway, I think the rooting hormone, the honey organic one, probably helped quite a bit. But back to it, what you'll want to do is so simple. So use 1 tablespoon of the raw honey, the organic honey, and then have a bit of warm water. So I boiled the water and then just let it cool a little bit, because you don't want to, you know, if you dip the plants, you know, even if it's a cutting of it, into something that is boiling, no one likes that, not even plants, you know, like boiling water. So anyway, oh god, there's honey everywhere. I think it's 32 degrees in London today, so I think it's just not good. Okay, so you just mix it in. I'm gonna make a bit of a mess here. So, you know, try and mix it in. Not as messily that I have, but you know. And you know, it becomes like a really cool honey color, obviously. And then what you'll want to do is take a cutting and then pop it in. So let's do it together. I have pre-selected this big boy. So as you can see, the color is quite red still. That means that it's a very young shoot. So, you know, compared to this one that looks like almost like a tree and a bark, this one is green still. So that shows that it's perfect to cut. I've got my big knife, and what you'll want to do, if you don't know how to take a proper cutting, I have done a video about taking cuttings and propagation, so check that out, but I'll do a quick recap right now. So you'll want to sterilize a very sharp knife, just because if you don't, so that you can do that just by, you know, pouring boiling water over it. That is sterilized, so that you can do with. But anyway, so very sharp, so you can do a clean cut in the plant without hurting it any more than it has to. But really, don't worry, taking cuttings is actually healthy for your plants. It will push them to grow more. So anyway, you will try and find a node. So the node is the powerhouse really of the plants. It's where the new roots will be shooting out from. So here there's a node in the rubber plant. It's really easy to see because it will be right below, you know, in between where a leaf is, and also there's rings on the rubber plants. So that's where you can tell that the roots will come from. So I think I'll be cutting from here just because I kind of want to keep this little leaf. It's quite cute, and you'll want to have a bit of a stem. So I'll be removing this one. Let's get to cutting. So as I said, just choose a spot that is good, right under a node, and then you'd want to do a clean cut, as clean as you can. And, ooh, that could have been dangerous. So as you can see, there's a little sap. It's fine, just don't put it on your hands. And then just leave it there. If you have a cloth, don't have my cloth anymore, just wipe off all that so the sap doesn't go on your leaves like it did on mine, because it does stain sometimes. And then I'm just going to pop it in my thing. Once you've popped this into the mix, maybe 5 minutes, I mean you can leave it overnight if you'd like. I've never done the test of what is most efficient, but I just leave it for 5-10 minutes while I do something else and then pop it in. The way that you will pop in your cutting is very important. What you will need to do is have obviously good soil into a nursery pot. So see, repurposing all my pots. So make a well in the pot. So the plant cutting will have enough space to just sit in the pot directly. And this is so all the good stuff that's been soaking in the cutting doesn't get completely, you know, I guess, taken off of the plants because you've been shoving it in soil. That's not the point. So yeah, the deeper the better. And so then you pop it in. So see, I'm literally hovering it over. I haven't even really input it. And then I just move the soil around a bit. So then it's almost upright already, but it's only got this much soil. And then I've got a bit more soil at the ready here. And then, as I said, just pop some in very delicately around. Ta-da-da! Pack it in a bit, but not too much, because that will not allow the cutting to actually breathe. And if you have perlite to increase drainage, you should probably try and use that. I made an entire video about how to make well-draining soil, so if you want to really up your game, definitely do that. Okay, I think we're good to go. There you have it, a make-at-home rooting hormone that is organic, eco-friendly, super cheap, only uses 2 ingredients. I mean, it works very well. It's worked for me. I'm sure it'll work for you. And cherry on top, it saves the bees. I mean, could it be any better? Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you do try this at home, let me know. And if you can send me little pics, I always love that. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!